Good afternoon and Assalamu alaikum. My name is Saleh Al-Qamar and I'm from 7B. So, picture this. I packed my bags, hopped onto a roller coaster, just kidding, a plane, but in my defense, it felt like a roller coaster, and zoomed all the way from Australia to Pakistan. But when I landed in Pakistan, I realized that making friends wasn't just like saying hi to someone and then boom, you're best friends forever. No, it was hard, and so was life. Life was hard. My mother enrolled me into an IGCSE school instead of the IB school which I was used to. And boy, when those grades came in, my house was a war zone of flying chocolates. Anyway, after all of that, my mother realized that maybe IGCSE wasn't the right fit for me. So I took a big leap and joined BNL. In this new place, I felt like an alien without its spaceship. I missed my family and friends from Australia a lot. And just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, boom, COVID-19 came along. I always speak too soon. Anyway, it messed up my social life and I couldn't do all of the fun things I used to. I was feeling lost. Like when you feel lost, when you go to a new place and you use Google Maps to direct you there. But then out of the blue, a message came out into my chat, which was amazing. It just said, "What's up? Do you want to be my friend?" And after I got over the cringeness, I realized that the universe finally decided that I needed cheering up and decided to deliver it with a sprinkle of randomness. In 2020, I learned that making friends can be as easy as one online message. Connections aren't just about the Wi-Fi ones. It's about connecting with people and how it makes you feel. The right friends can change your life in considerable ways. I learned this during the crazy roller coaster of 2020, a year that showed us all how important it is to have real connections who make you feel happy and strong. Thank you.
Good afternoon and Assalamu alaikum. My name is Zara Mohammed Chaudhry and I'm from 7C. Have you ever felt lonely? Like you just exist? No purpose? Well, that's what I felt like. A few years ago, I had plenty of friends in my class, but I felt like a backup. Someone to talk to after your friends left. Someone just there. But one day, on my way to club, I bumped into someone. We talked, we developed a deep connection, but the weird thing was, the first thing she asked me was, "Do you like milk?" That was such an awkward question that I didn't even know how to answer it. But after that, I realized that we're both weird in the same ways. We developed a deep connection, and I was so glad to have her in my life. But then after that, someone else appeared. Someone who I thought was really cool, but after a while, we just infected her with our weirdness. And now the three of us we're best friends, and they helped me become who I am today. And just as an example of how shy I was back then, I used to wear a mask for no reason, just to hide my face. But they helped me bring me out of my shell, and I helped them go out of theirs. Thank you. Good afternoon and Assalamu alaikum. My name is Fatima Ahmed from 70. So, dealing with loneliness and finding comfort in good connections. Have you ever experienced loneliness even when surrounded by loved ones? I too felt like this when my brother came into my life. I felt like I lost my place as the precious gem of the house. This caused a great disturbance in my physical and mental health, causing my grades to decline and my teacher to intervene. After a meeting with my mother, my loneliness was revealed through papers found by my helper. To cheer me up, my parents kept me a parent who became a new source of joy and comfort. However, my strongest connection during that time was my grandfather. We spent countless hours outside, and his wise words always lifted my spirits up. Sadly, my grandfather passed away 6 months ago, and my parents 3 years before that. But the memories I had during my difficult times remain priceless and unforgettable. Thank you. Hello. How are you? Okay. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ivy Hassan and I am Tekka.
Come on, Eileen!
Yes! Yes!
Does your life have a missing piece? Do you feel like something is out of place? Well, it all changed when I had my first bite of... Does your life still have a missing piece? Do you feel like something is out of place? Well, it all changed when I had my first bite of ice cream. Ice cream, the best thing that's ever happened to me. I love it even more than pretend that's five penguins, surfing on dolphins or water. When I first laid eyes on it, I felt nothing, but the connection was real, even more real than another penguin trying to bake turkey for Thanksgiving. Every time I ate it, I feel like I would burst with happiness. But what stops this happiness? When you try to get the last bit of ice cream, it melts in your spoon, and then you get that weird metallic taste in your mouth, or you can't have any more because your mother says so. Then I moved to Pakistan. Moving to Pakistan was a tough time for me. No one could help those tiny brain cells in my brain, but ice cream did. It also helped me get my revenge. Well, you must be wondering how. Well, ice cream gives you brain freeze, right? That's one of the benefits of ice cream. Thank you for listening.
Have you ever felt like you don't fit in or others don't give you the attention that you deserve? That the connection you have with the people around you is very poor? Well, everyone has that time at least once in their lives. But sometimes you need to understand that you have to give up on these feelings, not because you don't care, but because they don't. Because they think your time doesn't matter, your feelings are worthless, and your soul is replaceable. Because it's not. So at times to flourish, you need to end these connections and find a place where you truly belong. Now I'm going to tell you a time when this issue happened in my life and how I solved it. So when I started school, I felt very comfortable for a couple of years. I made a lot of friends and I had a lot of fun learning. But gradually, as time passed, I moved on to grade 1. This was when my memorable yet terrible connection started. So me and my friends got separated and my class environment wasn't exactly very good. My teachers never helped me or gave me their hand when I most needed it. Instead, they lost all hope on me, and so did I. I lost all hope on them. It got to a point where I got very hurt and I knew I had to end these feelings. So eventually, I opened up to my parents and they decided of changing my school to Beaconhouse Newlands. This was the light at the end of a very dark tunnel for me. As soon as I entered the school, I felt something different. Everyone wanted to be my friend and the teachers were very nice. And it has been 7 years I have been in the school and thank God I've always felt like I belong. So the moral of this talk is you have to go to the right place and make the right connections, finding a place where you truly belong. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Riya from 7. So, chicken pox was one of the hardest days in my life. I went through pain and discomfort and the worst of all isolation. But even through all of this was happening, there was a figure who stood by me in the dark times. My mother worked tirelessly just to give me comfort and ease. She did so much just to be with me. Finally, I came out of chicken pox. I felt a little tired and sick. Then I realized that a mother can do so much for her child, but a child can return the half of the fear. This is the connection of my mother who took care of my physical health and mental health. That's a very precious connection for me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Aram Hossein and I'm from 6A. Let's imagine this scenario. A person comes to your house and asks for shelter because they have no place to stay. You welcome them with open arms and an open heart. You treat them like family and you provide them with the essentials they need. But slowly, that someone starts telling you how to live your life. They replace all the furniture and remove everything that holds dear to you. Then they tell you that your home was actually theirs to begin with. This is absurd. This is completely wrong. However, it is true. It happened
and continues to happen to the Palestinians as we speak. As a Muslim, I feel deep sorrow and pain for the Palestinian people. Imagine waking up not knowing whether you're going to be alive. Imagine waking up and finding out that your academic year is over. Imagine waking up, finding out that your friends, families, and people that you love are no longer here. Now, on the other side of the world, we being brothers and sisters with them, we wake up to terrible news every day, which completely drains us mentally. We feel depressed, and we feel in pain. This is a connection. I feel a connection for those who are suffering. It's a shared human connection, but the stark difference is, while our lifestyles were once so similar, I have everything and they have lost so much. A reminder, please be sensitive when you talk about this topic. Thank you so much. Good afternoon and Assalamu alaikum. My name is Anaya Khan. A few years ago, I wasn't good at my studies. And I wasn't serious at all. And I used to procrastinate a lot. Well, I never really wanted to do anything. All I wanted to do was just stay at home, eat food, scroll on TikTok all day long, and just sleep and never study. And I'd never do my homework on time. Actually, I didn't do it at all. I never participated in school events or pay attention in class. And all that just really concerned my parents. Well, my bad. And I started over again. So, I never do my homework, pay attention in class, or participate in any school events. And I got tired of not being as good as the others. And I started to compare myself with them. I would feel very insecure about myself. And then I decided to change myself, rather than just sitting back and doing nothing, except for comparing myself with other people. So, at first, I would put a lot of pressure on myself, and I never share anything with anyone. But then, one day, my dad came up to me, and he randomly just said that I can share anything with him. And well, I did, because I had a lot on my head at that time. And he gave me the best advice anyone could ever give me at that time. He told me that I should believe in myself, try my best, just not stress and focus on myself and nobody else's words. And I felt a connection. That advice might not sound like the best advice, but for me, a person who was very demotivated, a person who had lost all hope in themselves, and who also never had a connection or a special person in their life, it really meant a lot. And that advice and all those encouraging words from my father really helped me to improve myself. And I still am improving. Our connection is very special for me, and I never want to lose this bond because this is the first ever connection I had with anyone. And I'm so lucky to have a person like him in my life. A person who helped me to improve myself and become the best version of myself. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Iman Asad and I'm from class 7C. And today, I'll tell you how I found a toothpaste and milk, which can be a horrible combo, but not always. So, have you ever felt out of place? Like, everything changed, but it didn't change? Like, you're missing puzzle piece. Except the entire puzzle is missing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how we all felt after quarantine. Alone, displaced, and really, really bored. I was very bored and lonely, let me tell you. I was as bored and lonely as a cat in a rainstorm, which is pretty bored. And as bored and lonely as I felt, I had a light bulb. What if, after this quarantine, could this digital craze help me make friends? Because talking in online classes was literally horrible. My ears are still recovering from the glitchy sounds of Zoom. So one fateful day, I messaged a new girl in my class saying, "Hey, what's up? Wanna be friends?" And after realizing how absurd it was to just say to a person I've never met before, "Wanna be friends?" I think the universe got tired of me constantly complaining about being lonely and bored. So they connected me with a kind yet weird friend. And though her love for toothpaste never really rang a bell to me, I still question why the first thing she said to me was, "Ever tried eating toothpaste?" Yes, you heard me right. Eating toothpaste. Oh boy, the universe does have strange ways of working. Though I do have to thank the universe for making this friend help me find a passion in the boredom of lockdown, and possibly forevermore. Oh, back to the story. 2 years later, I connected with yet another weird friend. And, oh boy, me being me, the first thing I asked her was, please don't laugh, "Do you like milk?" I'm almost as bad as toothpaste girl for this. I'll get you back for this, toothpaste girl. And despite what I thought at that time, that girl was not an introvert. In fact, she was more likely to be an alien than an introvert. And she even told me to say up here, she makes the turns table? I'm pretty sure it makes the tables turn. But anyway, toothpaste and milk may have been weird, but they were the best thing that happened to me for a long time. And that's saying something. Also, toothpaste, milk, and I have created a new era of food nicknames for all our other friends. And our connections are as strong as superglue. Yes, I know that's cheesy, but really, these are the connections that keep you going when the going gets tough. And if anyone else here has ever had trouble making friends, I hope that the universe for you too finds a toothpaste and milk and helps you connect with them. Thank you. Oh, and if you need any help making food nicknames, I'm always here. Just ask me.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Musa Umar Haya. I'm from 7B and I actually was born in Karachi and I came to Lahore when I was 6 or 7 years old. And then I'm still like remembering some of my cousins and friends in Karachi. But when I'm at Nile over in this school, he became my best friend. So I just wanted to say that even if you feel lonely, there's someone to help you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on stage and sharing that.
Well, I think we've all heard such lovely expressions of connections, and the connections they've made with connections, that it would be quite boring to listen to Ms. Fakhra yet again, other than on a Friday. So I'll just leave with this thought that we all have, they've made me think about the connections that I have. And those connections keep on changing. I would like to talk about that connection. When I walked into this school 8 years back, there was a student, and that's how connections happen. That's how people, sometimes we think कि हम adults जो हैं, हम connections बनाने में आसानी होती है हमें. But even as adults, there are times when we walk into a new place where we do not know anybody, we need somebody to reach out to us. And I remember that I was sitting in the cafeteria, sitting with Mrs. Hussain. How many of you remember Mrs. Hussain, who was our principal, second principal of Newlands? Yeah, the MYP would, most of you would, yes. So I was sitting, it was my 3rd day at Newlands, I was sitting in the Newlands cafeteria. Everybody was new to me. And this little girl in class 1 walked up to me. She had another friend with her and she said, "Hi, welcome to Newlands." And I was so surprised. That was a class 1 girl, and that girl is still sitting here in this auditorium. And that child made me realize that it is important to connect. So at that time, I wasn't the head of PYP. She wasn't a student. It was just 2 people, 2 human beings who had made a connection. And that's how connections are made. There are other ways connections are also made. Sometimes there are people we've spent time, decades with, and we don't connect. And then something happens, and not necessarily something good, that helps you connect with them. And something similar happened 2 days back. Yet another student reached out to me. First of all, owning up a mistake and saying that I realize I was wrong. And saying it, the words were sincere, they were personal, and they profusely remorseful. And that's when I looked back and I realized that we're all human and we all make mistakes. But it is really, really human when you step up and you own up. I had not asked for that apology. That student, in fact 2 of them, felt like stepping forward, and both of them are sitting here. So the connection that I've made with them after that is connection of real respect. So please continue to keep on making those connections, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters in life. You've been a great audience. It started on a rocky start. There was commotion, there was this, but then again, you see, when you listen to them, I could see that you all were connecting. So shabash on that, and thank you, Newlands, once again.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, and I must congratulate Ms. Fakra, Ms. Fatma for such a wonderful TEDx, because I believe that students were superb. Ms. Hanam, this was your first show and I'm thoroughly impressed with students and with your hard work. Sir Rose, thank you for the foundation that you laid with the students, Sir Ahmad, Sanika, everybody involved, and the teachers obviously. Acha, it's very exciting when I get a chance to speak to students directly. Through a stage or without a stage, but connections is my favorite word in life, because I feel that everything, even each and every moment of life is connected. That's why when we close our eyes, look back in time, and what we get is only a series of moments we remember, pleasant or bitter, whatever. May I ask you to close your eyes and try to recall the best moment in your life. All of you, please. Close your eyes and see what is the first best, the most pleasant moment of your life. Open your eyes. Now, close your eyes again, and the worst moment in your life. Worst moment in your life. Quietly, you have been a wonderful audience, but please, quietly. Now just a thought for a second, for a couple of seconds, that believe me, you have been through that worst moment and you're sitting here in this very moment. So it means that your success is an ongoing journey, believe me. So I will just share, I will try to be brief, that I had a student 3 years ago who came with his khala and mom from another city, trying to do the IB diploma. He said that I want to complete the IB diploma and I want to do medicine after that. And when I looked at his transcripts, he had failed 4 of his O-levels subjects. But the passion in his eyes and that desperation in his eyes, oh Miss Hasma, I have heard of your teachers, I want to do medicine, I want to be a doctor, because everyone in the family says, now listen to the sentence carefully, because everyone in my family, all my sisters and brothers are becoming doctor or are doctor, whatever. Whole of his family was a doctor family. But everybody says that I cannot be a doctor ever. So I want to come to your place and I want you to assure me that you will. But then I took up the challenge because I could see in his eyes, Bede, that he was struggling. Can you guess what he was struggling for? To become a doctor or something else? Acceptance? To prove his family wrong. So he took up the challenge, teachers took up the challenge, and believe me, he's becoming a doctor in Turkey right now. So how could we make him through his hard times? His only problem was he kept lying to everybody in life, in school, at home, because he was somehow trapped in escapism, we call escape. He had learned to escape from his present situation. So how could we hold his hand to take him out of that dark pit was that we could make him believe himself, and we could make him believe that he can make mistakes and he can have acceptance in our eyes with those mistakes. Okay? And the second advice I can give you, that any hardship, if you have faith in God before you have faith in your own self, that will help you with it. Thank you so much.